So fucking tired of watching these racist wannabe cops unaliving people in the street. And I'm even more tired of the justification of it. Oh, he was armed. No, he wasn't. Not anymore. This agent, if that's what you want to call him, disarmed him before that all happened. And they still shot him. Oh, but that wasn't his gun. That was the agent's gun. No, it wasn't. He goes into this empty-handed, comes out with a gun after disarming the guy on the ground that they were beating up. 6 agents against 1. It wasn't the agent's gun. He didn't even reach for his holster the entire time in the video. And they still shot him. Oh, well, he shouldn't have been armed. So y'all are only fans of 2A when it benefits you? You can carry in public in Minnesota with a permit. Assuming the man had a permit, what he was doing was legal. And even if he didn't have a permit, they disarmed him, beat him up, and still shot him. And I know if anyone who supports this administration is watching this, it's gonna go right over your head just like everything else, because there's nothing going on up there. There's never been anything going on up there for you. Lights on, no one's home. Wheel is turning, hamster is dead. If they didn't have such smooth brains, there would be dust in the crevices. But for those of us who see this as a problem and are angered by it, do not engage with those empty-headed people. If they don't get it by now, they never will. Your rage is just gonna fall on deaf ears. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Your 2 options are never supposed to be comply or get shot. My heart goes out to the family, friends, and community mourning the loss. And once again, my hexes and curses go out to everyone who's defending the man that shot him.
Breaking news, Las Vegas workers are mad at Donald Trump and they voted for him. They say no tax on tips is not working the way it's supposed to be. It's just a tax deduction. They're not getting any more money right now. They're actually losing more money. They say, what the H is going on? It has the reverse intentions. It intended to do something it's not. They thought they were going to have a whole lot more money in their pocket. Vegas workers say they ain't got no more money in their pocket. And they are mad, hot, and pissed off at Donald Trump. Why did you do this to him, Donald Trump? Why did you do this to him? That's what they want to know, and they don't like it. Now, you know I only bring the news, but Vegas workers, what do you thought? You thought no tax on tips was going to bring you more money, that you're going to keep all of it in your pockets? No, that wasn't the way it goes. It's a tax deduction. You got played. You got hoodwinked. You got mollywopped. You fell for it. And you're getting exactly what you deserve. Vegas workers. Work harder. No tax on tips. You ain't going to get no more money. Follow your boy for more about Donald Trump. Las Vegas workers mad about no tax on tips. All the bills, government shutdown, and everything in between. You know what I'm about to say. Come on. Let's go.
I am so tired of feeling helpless as a parent. Yes, my kids are grown adults. My oldest is 28. My youngest is 25. And I thought by teaching them what I learned, which is you work hard, you get a good job, you're going to get the things in life that you need, right? Worked for me. Why wouldn't it work for them? Because it doesn't. Because the world has fucking changed, all right? And now I feel like I see them struggling. And before my generation comes at me, yes, I understand struggling is a part of life. We all struggled. But there's a difference between struggling and drowning, all right? So we struggled and it was tough. But you know what? We made it. We knew there was a light at the end of the tunnel with our struggle. It seems like kids today, no matter how much they struggle, they just get further and further down the water into the drowning point, all right? When I was their age, I was making less than $10 an hour, and I could afford to live on my own. Now you have to be making 6-figure salary to get a decent, tiny little place to live. So what the fuck is going on, and how do we help them as parents? I told my son, all you have to do is work hard, go to college, or join the military like I did. He went to college, got his degree, got a full-time job. He moved back in with me right when he graduated from college because he said, hey, Mom, as soon as I get a job, which was within 2 weeks of him getting out of college, maybe take me 2 months and I'll save up enough money for me to move out. Okay, cool. It's been 10 months. He has saved almost every dime and still can't afford to live. Why are 1-bedroom studio apartments almost $2,000 a month? Why? Like, I just don't get it. So I don't even think that there's even classes anymore. There used to be, upper class, middle class, lower class. It's literally turning into the ultra wealthy and then everybody else is just poor. Like, that's what is happening. And then I told him, hey, when you turn 25, at least your car insurance will go down. Hell no, he turned 25 and his car insurance went up $150. I tell him, if you need health insurance, get a good job. He has health insurance. He has had a medical emergency this week. Had to go to an emergency room twice. He had to go to the emergency room because he couldn't get anybody to see him with the health insurance that he had. Right? So he had to go to an emergency room. Now he's out money for that too. It seems like you can never get ahead. And then my daughter, I told her all you have to do because she wanted to buy her own house. My daughter worked 6 days a week, 12 hours a day to save up enough for this down payment. Finally got this house. She's paying double what I'm paying for my mortgage, but her loan was the same amount. And then her mortgage company, after she's already moved in, said, oh, by the way, we forgot to tell you that you need this type of coverage, which we forgot in the beginning. That's an extra $200 you've been paying a month. And all they see when they come home is they watch social media, kids their age on lavish vacations with all this money and nothing to do, all these social media influencers, because we value those types of things over hard workers. We will pay them $10,000, but you'll work 40 hours a week, you can't afford it.
So I'm sorry. So I just left Walmart, and while I was in there, I met this beautiful woman, and I'm walking and I'm shopping, and she says, "Oh my God!" And she stops me. She says, "It's you." And I was like, "Hey." She was like, "Can I just give you a hug?" She said, "I need to give you a hug." Ooh. Sorry, okay. She said, "I need to give you a hug." I said, "Okay." And she gave me a hug. She said, "I just want to tell you." She said, "I just want to tell you that you saved my life." She said, "I am a trans woman." And she said, "The amount of hate that I've been getting, the way I've been feeling worthless about who I am."
Wow.
She said, a few months ago, I actually wrote out a letter. I wanted to disappear. I wanted to go away. And she was like, I took out my phone because I just wanted to go on social media. I wanted to just smile just one more time. I was scrolling, and she said the next video that popped up was yours,
This is breaking news.
telling me that I'm beautiful, telling me that I'm worth it.
Wow.
She's... Oh, okay. She said, "Because of you, I ripped up my note."
Breaking news.
She said, "Because of you, I'm able to love myself again."
This is
She said, "Because of you, I'm still here." I just want to let you know, and anybody else who is watching this right now, it does not matter who you are. Black, white, green, gold, male, female, trans, it does not matter. You are enough. You are so worth it. And do not let anybody tell you anything different. You are beautiful.
Rejection.
You are beautiful. And I need you to know that you are loved. So I need you to fix your face, pick your head up, go out there and be great in their face. And you make sure that each and every single day you have a good day on purpose. You're welcome.
This is breaking news.
I know we've been helping Judy and Rebecca, but at the same time, and you guys didn't even realize it, but you were helping me too. Because a couple weeks ago, I didn't want to be here anymore. And
America defense power is failing.
I've felt more love in the last few days than I have felt in a long time. And I'm like, you guys showed me that there is still good people and that there is still good in the world. And I'm so glad that I stuck around so I can continue to see that. So thank you for helping me too.
So, a mental health question. Basically, what do you do when someone's having a mental health crisis? This one asks, for example, about if someone's up on a bridge, but then they willingly get down on their own. So Coventry, we don't really have bridges like the Newport Bridge or anything like that. But in any mental health situation, if someone is suicidal, like they want to harm themselves or anyone else, that it's kind of out of our hands to just let them come down and go back home. They are then a liability to themselves and anyone else. So if they don't want to go to the hospital, they're refusing to go to the hospital, but they've made suicidal comments or they were actively trying to harm themselves, we put them in what's called protective custody, meaning they don't have the right to disagree with going to the hospital anymore, and they're forced to go to the hospital and get treatment. That's also in like different states like Florida, that's called the Baker Act. So, yeah, do they still want to go to the hospital? do they still have to go to the hospital? Yes. They've actively tried to harm themselves, and they've been saying they're suicidal, they don't want to live anymore, they're going to the hospital. We are putting them in protective custody, basically taking that right away from them to say no and forcing them to get the proper care they need.
I've been unemployed since January, and it is almost June, and I've been on so many interviews. It's so rough out there, like, people don't even understand. Like, I'm not even eligible for universal credit, even though I've been paying into the system since I was 18, and I'm now 29, because I live with someone, and apparently their earnings mean I can't actually, you know, I'm not eligible for anything other than job seekers allowance, which is literally nothing. And I've even applied for like retail jobs and hospitality jobs, which I worked in for 10 years. Nothing, not eligible for that apparently. I keep getting rejected. I've rewrote my CV like 1 trillion times for each role that I've applied for. I've wrote cover letters, like, something is broken. I don't know if it's because the barrier for entry in these jobs is just heightened because of AI. I don't know, but it's rough out there, and it's driving me insane. And I'm in marketing. I've been in marketing for like just over 2 years now, and that is also annoying because every job interview I get is like 3 or 4 stages, and I usually have to do some task which takes me ages to prepare for, and then I just hit nothing, or I just get rejected. And it's just like, and fucking boomers always like to be like, oh well, you're not trying hard enough, or maybe your CV's not good enough, or maybe this and this. It's like, well, why is it always to do with me? And why should I have to like lower my standards and go for a job that I'm overqualified for and go on minimum wage just to survive, when I've spent all this time trying to better myself and, you know, go to university, do all of this like unpaid work to build out a portfolio, do all of this stuff in my spare time to get more experience, just to end up back where I started when I was 18? I don't think so. Like, people don't understand the work like young people have to put in just to get an entry-level position.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but if your parents fund and support most of your life, you have no room to sit there and shame people who had to do less than savory things to get by. Like, you have no room to do so. Like, earlier this week, I saw this video of this guy talking about how most people don't do bad things because they don't want to do the bad thing. It's simply that they don't have a reason to. For example, it's easy to look at someone robbing a grocery store and being like, God, that's so fucked up. Like, why would they ever do that? But you've never been in a position where in which you had to do that. So therefore, of course, you don't understand it. And it's just weird to have a sense of moral superiority for people over people for not doing certain things or not participating in certain things, but you yourself never were in a position where you had to. And this isn't coming at people who simply had parents that support them. Like, my mom, she takes care of almost every one of my needs, and I'm so grateful for her for that. But I would never sit here and look at other people and be like, oh my God, why don't you have a car? Why don't you have an apartment? Like, that's so embarrassing. Or judge the way that in which they acquired those things, however they did so, because I know how privileged I am. And so I understand that other people had to do other things to get where they needed to get in life. I say all this to say, if you've never had to go through it and you don't understand a person's circumstances, don't judge them for how they navigate through that, because you yourself have no idea how you would.
I cried in an online interview when I was unemployed because that's how much unemployment was affecting my self-esteem. I was going for a job that was not related to my field. It wasn't something that I necessarily wanted to do. But at that point, genuinely, I was like, right, maybe I should just park marketing altogether because I can't seem to get a job in that area. So this was like a customer service job. It's kind of like a call center, maybe something like a chat bot, you know, you're talking to customers, something like that. And I just felt so broken that in the interview, the recruiter, so I was talking to the recruiter before going to the actual interview with this company, and she was saying, you know, are you sure this is what you want to do? Like, it's a lower level, you're kind of taking a step back. And I just cried because I was like, this is where I'm at. I just need a job, and I will be here for a year if I have to, because I've kind of given up with marketing. And she was really lovely and really understanding. But I actually ended up not going forward with that interview. I said, you know what, I can't do this, because obviously it's making me feel like I'm moving so backwards in life. And it's because it wasn't just the job for me. I had also gone through other things in my life that just felt like massive setbacks, and having to rebuild is really tough. And another layer being that I can't even get a job right now, and I'm trying to just settle for something that will pay the bills and make it work. It was soul crushing. Like, genuinely, it felt so heavy. And I want to share this video for anyone else that feels like they're not worthy, their self-esteem and self-confidence has been crushed, because then that can affect how you interview. And I'm not here with some crazy wisdom of like, here's how you fix all of that. It's just to remember that it's genuinely not you. People are facing rejection day after day. Recruiters and hiring managers, mainly hiring managers, are looking for unicorns that don't exist. So a lot of us are going to get rejected because they want to list someone that ticks every single box, which is unrealistic. But for some reason, it's an employer's market and they think they can choose this unicorn. And I know, because I've been there, so I'm sharing for anyone that feels completely disheartened with their job search, and they're interviewing and they're getting rejections and they just don't feel like they're good enough. You genuinely are. You're great. All of your skills are still there. All of your experience is still there. Your wisdom, your enthusiasm hopefully hasn't dwindled with all the rejections and things that have been going on. Try and keep fighting. You are personally building a very, very resilient foundation. Resilience is a skill, and you are single-handedly crafting that skill to the best it could possibly be right now.